JT, it's been 142 days and 7 hours and 36 minutes and 14 seconds since I left the narcissist. Why am I not healed? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, my friends. I hope you're all having a fantastic week so far. We're at the midweek right now, and I hope everyone's doing great. You're on your healing journey. You're doing all the things you want to do without the narcissist in your life, and you're not letting the rumination or the daydreams or the nighttime hoovers or the telepathy or any of that kind of stuff affect you, and you're pushing forward because you're a strong empath. You are a chosen one, and you are meant to do great things in this world. Don't ever let that narcissistic relationship bring you down. I know it can be difficult at times. We can get in our minds and ruminate and go down a path of feeling bad about ourselves and the things we've been through, and we're not where we want to be in life. You know, that's everyone. Like we're all on this journey in life. You know, it's a healing journey. So don't ever get down and feel bad for yourself that, you know, you had a relapse, you messaged the narcissist, or, you know, they popped back up in a dream and then you were thinking about them for a few days. Shit happens. Don't worry about it. But today we're going to be talking about how long truly does it take to heal from the narcissistic relationship. And so I want to preface this with, you're an addict. You were an addict. And you have to treat the narcissistic relationship as an addiction, just like anything else in life. And again, with the healing journey, everyone is different. You know, what affects me doesn't necessarily affect someone else. I remember I had a friend in college, and he could take, yes! Hey, sorry about that, guys. My neighbor was asking me a question. I had to go deal with him. But where was I? So I had a friend in college that could take LSD or tons of psilocybin mushrooms, and he would never trip. His brain chemistry was just not wired the same way as mine or a lot of other people. Versus I can watch someone that's taken a hallucinogenic and I feel like I'm tripping. You know, everyone's different. That's why with saying on the healing journey, it's really not one size fits all. It can be very dependent on a lot of different factors, you know, versus like people that take antidepressants, you know, one with antidepressants especially, like a lot of people will say, yeah, this works for me. The next person says it doesn't. Then the next person says kind of does. Then the next person says really works for me. It's like so all over the place, you know, our brain chemistry and all our hormones are completely different. So on your healing journey, just don't compare yourself to anyone else. You're on your own individual, unique journey. But with that being said, you know, we have to look at this as the same type of journey that an addict goes through. You know, and I'm a pretty good representation of this, as, you know, I've talked about in other videos. My entire sleeve tattoo was from when I was a heroin addict 10 years ago. And, you know, we all go through this narcissistic relationship, and it rewires our brain chemistry. Cortisol levels get changed, serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, and much, much more. Our entire body, autoimmune response, our nervous system, we get stuck in the fight or flight response. Our body is pushing out more norepinephrine. You know, everything gets changed when we're in the narcissistic relationship. So you have to look at yourself as an addict. And what does an addict have to do in order to heal and get off the drugs? You can go cold turkey, or you can wean slowly off of it. And then over time, it gets less and less and less. How long does it take before you're completely over it? Well, for me, back when I was a heroin addict, it took about a year before I would like never think about it, where someone could put, you know, a bottle of pills on my nightstand and I could see it every single day and not ever have the temptation to ever take one. It took about a year. But again, that's me. That's my specific chemistry, and I have an addictive personality. So, and especially if you have an addictive personality, like if you're addicted to caffeine even, or sugar, you know, it's gonna be a lot tougher to let go of the narcissist and continue on your healing journey. You might go 7-8 months and you're feeling really great, but then, oh, you have a little bit of sugar and then you want ice cream every single night. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the narcissist. You get one message from the narcissist thinking they've changed. What happens? Your brain chemistry gets flooded with dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. You're getting pulled right back into it. It takes some time. And from the research I've done, and I have a dopamine detox program on my website, I've done a lot of research with dopamine specifically. They say on average 90 days to start feeling like your dopamine is changing, but usually it's around the 14-month mark that your dopamine gets reset. 14 months to reset your dopamine in your brain. That's the normal rule of thumb. So if we know it takes 14 months and all your chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, cortisol, all this stuff got messed up, just expect that, if you're at the 6-month mark, the 8-month mark, the 10-month mark, it takes some time. And then every time you get pushed into a relapse, you're adding more time to it. If you went no contact for 7 months and then you started talking to them again and you're back, it's not like you lose all your progress, but you got more dopamine, more serotonin, your signals got all crossed again, so it's going to take more time. That's why it's so important on the no contact journey that you truly stay no contact, that you do not go on Instagram or Facebook and look at pictures. Every time you do that, you are rewiring your brain for those little mini dopamine hits. It's like corn. You go 6 months without looking at corn and you looked at it for 15 years, you look at it one time, that dopamine signal is going to be so strong, your receptor is going to get blasted with dopamine. And then we're going from a mind to a body physical feeling. And when our body feels that physical feeling that's happening with the dopamine rush in our brain, we're going to want that feeling all the time. That's why when you look at the picture, it becomes more difficult. Then you want to look at it again. And then you're thinking about them the next day. Then you're ruminating. Then you're thinking about them at night before bed. It keeps adding up because the dopamine is so addicting, guys. Dopamine is so addicting. We want to feel good. We're in our human bodies. These vessels have so many fleshly temptations. And when you give yourself that dopamine hit after not having it forever, it feels so good. And then you want to keep feeling that. We seek out pleasure as human beings. That's what we want. We want to be in pleasure all the time. But unfortunately, we're linked pleasure with the narcissist, which is not good because then we're seeking pleasure in the wrong areas. It's the same thing with corn and lustful images. We're seeking pleasure from the wrong things that are actually hurting us and hurting society as a whole. That's why you have to rewire your brain to get dopamine from things that actually are going to benefit your life. Rewire your brain to get dopamine from reading a book. Rewire your brain to get dopamine from workouts. Rewire your brain to get dopamine from a hike. You have to continuously keep doing that. It's not like you're just going to read one book or you're going to go to the gym one time and you've completely rewired your dopamine system. You have to continuously do it to create a new pattern. Our brains are so smart. Our brains are so smart. Our bodies and our brains have a deep connection. It's going to be very difficult to fool your body and your brain. So if you look at that image of the narcissist and get that dopamine hit, you think you're just going to be like, oh, it's just like a one-time thing. Now your brain and your body are seeking that dopamine supply from that specific thing. You're trying to seek dopamine because it feels good, even though it's the wrong thing to do. But in your brain, it's saying, oh, this feels good. We want more of this. Give us more of this. That's why it's so important on the no contact journey that you do not look at the pictures. And if you do have a relapse, don't feel bad about it, guys. I've had it. We're all human beings. Temptations are very strong. So with me saying everything I just said, just know on your healing journey, there will be temptations. There will be moments of weakness. You are a human being. But just know that every time you fall into that temptation, it puts you back a step. But like they say, one step back, 2 steps forward. So if you have that temptation, you fall, don't worry about it. Know that you're going to take 2 steps forward now. You know you learn the lesson like, oh, this is just my brain. This is just the chemicals in my brain signaling to me, hey, this feels good. We want more of this. So on the healing journey, you got to find things to, rewire your dopamine and create a new pattern. That's what it's all about, because at the end of the day, we all want to heal. We all want to get to that place in our life that we feel authentically ourselves and are not connected on an energetic level in the spiritual realm with the narcissist. And past all the science and what's happening, the neurons firing and the dopamine and all that, on the spiritual level, you got to break that soul tie and that trauma bond as well. And when you do all of these things in culmination with one another, break the soul tie, break the trauma bond, you're becoming spiritual, you're on your spiritual quest, your spiritual journey, you're rewiring all your dopamine, serotonin, you're doing all of this stuff, it's going to become so much easier to let go and move on. But if you go half-ass, just like with anything in life, half-ass gets half-ass results. You really, truly want to heal, you got to put forth the effort every single day. You have to fight those temptations. You have to know that it's your brain and your body trying to trick you into getting that fix from the ex-narcissist. And in those moments, you have to find something constructive to do. What I personally think one of the best things you can do, if you really want to make sure that you don't go back and get that dopamine from the ex-narcissist, go take a cold shower. If you're in a moment of weakness and you want to relapse, even if you're, a recovering porn addict or looking at lustful images, go take a cold shower. It'll instantly snap you out of it. It's proven that cold showers and ice baths give you a 250% increase in serotonin levels for hours after you take the cold shower. So instead of getting the serotonin and dopamine from that weakness, that moment where you might be thinking about the narcissist, thinking about reaching out, thinking about looking at a picture, hop in a cold shower, take an ice bath. You'll get that serotonin for hours. I do this a lot of times with anything I'm trying to fix in my life where I have a temptation with lust, or I'm thinking about, a female not in an objective way. Cold shower. You have to keep doing these things to trick your brain and make sure that you're getting dopamine from the right areas, and it takes time. You have to continuously do this over and over again. You're not going to work out for 1 week and be a fitness model. You got to do it for weeks, months, years. Now, I'm not saying that, it's going to take you years to get healed from the narcissist. If you put forth all the effort and you're doing everything you can, doing all the research, gaining the knowledge, doing the right things on your spiritual journey, on your healing journey of becoming authentically yourself, yeah, you could heal in 3 months. You could heal in 6 months. You could heal in a year. You 100% can. But you have to put forth the work. So I pray for all of you guys all the time, every night before I go to bed. Just know if you are in a downtime, you've had a moment of weakness, just know it's 1 step back, 2 steps forward. Life is a roller coaster. There's ups and downs. And if you're in a down, there is going to be an up. I promise you that. Healing is not linear. It's going to be like this. So just know that if you are having a moment, it doesn't last. As they say in AA, this too shall pass. I live by that motto. Anything bad in your life that's happening, this too shall pass. So don't get down on yourself in the weak times. We are all human beings. We are all flesh bodies. We're in these vessels. And at times, we can be weak. It's just important that we learn the lessons and we continue to push forward to our most authentic selves. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Stay safe, enjoy the day, enjoy the week, and just know that with you guys watching this video, you are on the right track. You are on the healing path. And I know that you can get to exactly where you want in life. You can have the dream spouse, the car, the house, the vacations, the mental clarity, the peace of mind, the solitude, the love in your heart. You can have all of that. And it's already all inside of you. You just have to unlock it. All right, guys, take care. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the day. Stay safe.
I can see the fire that we made.